Hey Life Group leaders, yes, that's right, it's another video, another lifeline. Get it? It's a Life Group lifeline, help. All right. So anyway, it's good to be back with you, and we have almost had every Life Group meeting this month. A couple have yet to go. We have a few more that have started because of the need and the demand, and so we're just excited about what God is doing and the way that God is using you to connect people, to live together as family, and then to go as disciples. And so you are a huge part of that. I just want to encourage you in that. So as we look at our life groups, where we're at right now, just a few things to remind you of and to make you aware of. One is ACS. We need you or your designee, if you want to designate someone to do that, to log into ACS after you meet and add members to your group, take attendance, and so if you haven't done that yet, if you haven't logged into ACS again, if you hadn't add members to your group or taken attendance, please be sure to do that. Do that tonight. You can go on there. It's not too late. You can still take attendance from your last meeting. But please get onto ACS and take attendance. If you don't know how to do that or you're having trouble, please contact Brenda McEwen. She'd be happy to walk you through the steps to make that happen. We need everyone on board with this, and so if it's not you, after the gathering time, then please appoint somebody and we can get them a login and they can go in and do the same thing. But we need everybody in on that, and making sure that you are adding members. If you do a search for a member and they are not in ACS, would you please email Brenda and let her know, and give Brenda the information, and she will add them to ACS and put them in your group. Exciting stuff going on. God is bringing people, connecting people that were unconnected, and we want to be able to see that. So if you would please take a moment and just put it into your weekly schedule. Every time we gather, I'm going to log in from my iPad, iPhone, Android device, laptop, computer, PC, whatever you have that you're going to get on there, and log into ACS and take attendance or add members, or drop members. If you know that they are moved to another group, you can do that as well. But please, that's a vital part. Please take a moment and get in there. If you need help, let us know. Also, please look ahead in your material, your life group material. You may notice in a few weeks your life group is going to be asked to do a prayer walk. And that section explains what a prayer walk is, explains where to go and how to do that. But that's going to be a powerful time. We're going to have all of our life groups participating in a prayer walk in our community, and seeking God and asking God to show us where He's at work and how we can jump in and be a part of that. So look ahead in your material in the next few weeks, see what's coming up. Encourage people to do the exercises and the worksheets that happen between gathering times. It'll be helpful when you get together and you have people have filled that out, or at least started to, or thought about it. It adds to the conversation, and you can be very specific. Again, we don't want to gather just to talk generalities. We want to gather so we talk specific. So in this first week, when we're talking about our neighbor, who is our neighbor, anybody you can't avoid, we want people specifically to talk about certain people in their life that they know that they would call their neighbor, someone that they can interact with and build a relationship with. So we want to work in specifics. Those worksheets in those studies are designed to help do that. So please encourage that, fill it out yourself so that you can show people what that looks like. But make sure you're looking ahead, because there's some planning that has to happen for your life group in order to do things like the prayer walk. So be looking ahead. There's new material. Some of you are asking, well, as we finish up this material, what are we going to do next? And so we have that available. We're going to be using something called the Gospel Primer, and we're going to be talking more about this. In fact, we're going to be at our next meeting. We are going to have another life group meeting. We're going to talk about how to use this Gospel Primer. But this is the material, and each of the leaders, you can grab a copy of that. I want you to have one. Don't take a bunch for your group yet, but at least you just grab a copy, and you can already begin to look through that and work on that. It's going to be good stuff. So that's coming. Also, a final thing when it comes to being a part of a missional group, it's important, extremely important, that we stay on task, and that you as a leader really help guide the group in this. That you know that as a follower of Jesus, that we are disciples, who gather together and are sent to make disciples, and to show and to tell the gospel in our community. And that is the mission that God has given us. But we need to be able to communicate that clearly, time and time again, to the people that we gather with. And to walk through this material, which will help do that, but really to seek out together as a group, where is God sending us, intentionally and specifically, to show and tell the gospel. And so we need you to do that. You really set the example in what you're doing, the way you're living on mission, but also in your encouragement to others. So we want you to explain clearly, look, we have been sent by God. We are on mission together. That is our call, right? Because our default is sometimes to turn these groups into something that is just about us and nothing further. Just about getting information, but nothing further. What we want is to care for each other, to grow and learn as followers of Jesus, and then to go and be sent on mission together. So explain, lead by example, and encourage others to join in on that and to join you in that. So remember, we're asking you to meet regularly as you can. If your group is only meeting every other week to start, that's perfectly fine. But are there other times you could gather with some members of your life group? Could you make a phone call and get the guys, you go out for lunch together, or the ladies, you go out for dinner together while the guys babysit and put the kids to bed? I don't know, what can you do to encourage community outside of a meeting once a week, every other week? What can we do to encourage that? And so all kinds of ways and ideas to do that. You can think of plenty, I'm sure. But we want you to meet together. We want you to share a meal together. Remember, at least once a month, share a meal. Start to do that. Put those pieces together, and if you can, as regularly as possible, find a way to gather in a public place. Is there one gathering a month that you can have somewhere publicly where people can invite their friends to come to a neutral environment and to see what community looks like, and to join in? So as you're gathering, as you start to gather, you say, hey, maybe this month, one of our meetings, we're going to meet somewhere in a public area, and we're going to invite people to just come and see and be a part of it. Again, you're being intentional about where you're gathering and why. We want you to serve together, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities to talk about that. And we want you to go together. We want you to look at, where is God sending our group? To which people? Who are we trying to reach with the gospel? And be specific. As you work through the covenant, that is going to help guide you through a lot of that. So as you start meeting more regularly, you can pull that out and at least talk. You may go a question at a time, a question a meeting, or 2 questions a meeting. But you start to work through that covenant, and these things start to become clearer. Anyway, that's what we are asking life groups to be about, and we're off to a great start. I've seen some great pictures. If you have pictures to post, please do that or send them to us. And if you have stories, if there's something happening in your life group, feed that to us so that we can let others know, look how God's working, and this is open for you as well. We want you to be a part of this because God's mission continues in the world. So anyway, I just wanted to share those few things. And finally, last video I talked to you about some neighbors. And during our last life group gathering at our house, our neighbors came, and they came with their daughter, and they sat in on our dinner together, and had a great conversation at the end. When everyone had gone, they were still there, and the husband kept saying over and over, he kept saying, I've never been a part of a group like this, but they seem like really great people. And so we're excited about that. Please continue to pray, and we will continue to pray for your group and the way that God is leading you on mission. Don't forget to get into ACS. Don't forget to look ahead in your material. Grab a copy of the newest material coming up, and work very hard to stay on task and to follow Jesus on mission. We're praying for you. Take care. Bye-bye.